Okay, and this will be my second video on Greedon, or Greedon, yeah. Alright, yeah, let's begin. Of course, we've got the starter, Taida. Gomon, when it is rode upon by Bushoku, you reveal a Greedon in your ride deck and draw a card, and then its other ability, when it is put from your guard into the soul by your Vanguard's ability, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, counterblast 1, and then you get a guard restrict, so your opponent has to guard for 2 cards. Well, they have to guard with 2 and not just 1. And then Boshoku, when it's rode upon by Greedon, you get a search and put a card in your soul. It's nice. It's pretty nice, yeah. And then, of course, its soul ability gives your Greedon 5 plus 5k more power if you have 4 more cards, and his abilities stack. So you want to get all 4 of your Boshokus into the soul. And of course, well, is Greedon himself. If you have another copy of Greedon in the soul, your damage becomes 7. Then its main ability, Soul Blast 2, put 4 rear guards into the soul and restand him. And if your soul has 10 or more cards, it gets plus 15k. Pretty nice. So he's yeah, he's probably my favorite Dark States deck because he's, well, a dragon. I like dragons, as we've probably learned on this channel. Of course, 3 more of himself. I've knocked Hysteria down to 2. Now, yes, that means I get less extra attackers, so really Greedon's going to be the only attack in this entire deck. But whatever, that's fine. That's honestly how the deck is supposed to work. Of course, we got more of the Boshokus. We've got this new one, Kennen, or Kenon, something like that, yeah. When it is placed on rear guard during your main phase, you counterblast 1. Look at the top card of your deck and call it. And then at the end of the turn, you retire the called unit. However, that does not matter, as you're going to suck both of them up with Greedon anyway. We've got Ashurda. It's a defensive card, and when you guard with it, you put him into your soul. Very nice. Muka has gone down. You counterblast 1, Soul Blast 2 to call a card from your soul. And if you Persona Road that this turn, this guy gets plus 5k, so it can also kind of be a secondary attacker with Greedon. Of course, we got the one more Gomond. We got another new card. Bubetsu or Bubetsu? Yeah, Bubetsu. When your other rear guard is put into your soul by your Vanguard's ability, counterblast 1, choose a card from your hand and call it to an open rear guard. And if your soul has 10 or more cards, you draw a card. Pretty cool. He's not my favorite of these guys, because I really like the ones that add abilities to Greedon, because that really helps out. Such as this guy, in Kane. I believe I got his first ability wrong in the last video. It is not a counter charge one. It is a soul charge one for his first ability. And of course his other ability, when he's absorbed by the Vanguard, you counterblast 2 and you give Greedon an extra 5k and an extra drive. And also, this also works with the other guy. Oh, I said it in the other video. What was it? Barrow Magnus. Yeah, this guy works with Barrow Magnus as well. And of course, to round it off, the 4 perfect guards, the 4 non-effect crits, the 4 effect crits, the 4 heals, and even though this is not a grade 4 deck, I do actually run 3 of the new draws. However, that's because, as again, Greedon's going to be your only attacker, there's really no reason for the front triggers, because that gives power to all of your front row, and you're only going to have one. You're really only going to have one card on the field at all, so there's really no point to them. Yeah, let's do a double feature. I've got one more deck, so we might as well polish it off for now. And then that's kind of it for Vanguard deck profiles for now. And when this guy's done, Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon. He's a double dragon. Okay, so this is my only Stoicheia deck. They do have another dragon, Magnolia, but I don't really care for it. This guy's one and only ability, or wait, no, we're not going to do that. We'll do the ride deck first. Of course, basic 0. Inroad Shooter. When it is rode upon by Ascendant's Assault, you call this to a rearguard. Pretty nice. And then it's a rearguard ability, which is actually going to be used if your Vanguard is Flagburg or Ascendant's Assault. This guy gets Intercept and plus 2k power. Very cool. And of course, this is Ascendant's Assault. You may pay the cost by revealing an Inroad Shooter or Flagburg Dragon from your hand. So, essentially, by revealing one of those, you get rid of this cost. When it is rode upon, Soul Blast 1 and one other Soul Blast another card other than this and call him to a rearguard. However, again, if you reveal either of these two from your hand, you do not have to pay that, and you can just automatically call him to a rearguard yourself. However, that does leave Flagburg Dragon with only 1 soul card, so that's unfortunate, especially since a lot of the cards in this deck require soul for their abilities. However, especially thanks to set 4, this deck has gotten a little bit better with that. You don't really have to freak out about losing all of your Vanguard soul, so kind of fixed. And then it's rearguard ability when your other rearguards attacks a Vanguard. If your Vanguard is Flagburg, can blast 1 and you restand him. Very nice. And of course, Flagburg himself, and as I was saying, his one and only ability, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1 and perform all the following abilities according to the number of attacks made this turn. 3 or more, you can draw a card. 4 or more, your opponent chooses 2 rearguards and they retire them. Or no, wait, that's actually incorrect. You choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards and retire them. That's an unfortunate thing with Flagburgs. All of their copies, SP or not, have got that error, but if you know what the original text was supposed to be, it's no problem. Although, I hope they reprint this guy in the future to hopefully fix that, although they don't have a good track record, especially at the moment. And then 5 or more attacks. Until the end of that battle, this unit gets plus 10k power, and when your opponent would call cards from their hand to the Guardian Circle, they must call 3 or more cards at the same time. So it's pretty much the same as the ability Greedon would get from Gomon. However, they have to guard with 3 cards, making it even harder. Yeah. And that's it for the ride deck. Of course, we've got 3 more Flagburgs in the main. Ooh, I hit the camera there. The other grade 3 in this deck, Blue Artillery Dragon Inlet Pulse Dragon. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, if it was the first battle of this turn and your Vanguard is Flagship Dragon Flagburg, you Soul Blast 1 and you restand him. And then his other ability at the end of the turn, the total number of attacks this turn was 4 or more. You put this into the soul and you draw a card. He is probably one of the best cards Stoicheia has. Ironically, even though he's almost hard restricted to Flagburg, almost all of the Stoicheia decks use him, except for Zorga. because all of the Stoichea decks kind of focus around multi-attacks, except for Zorga, because he focuses on order cards. But yeah, he's very good. A new Stoichea deck / Dragonic Empire deck that's coming in set 5 is going to use him too, so good thing I got him now. We've got 3 more copies of Ascendance Assault. We already went over him. Agris Blue Dragon. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked a rearguard, if your Vanguard is Flagburg, you Soul Blast 1 and you restand him. So I'm sure you've kind of gotten the idea of this deck. You restand to get as many attacks as possible to get off all of Flagburg's abilities. I'd say that's a pretty simple deck. And it's honestly a pretty cheap deck too, because Flagburg is only like $3 each. The only real problem card, I'd say, is Inlet Pulse. However, I'd especially get them now since he's probably going to be a lot more expensive in the future when those combination decks from set 5 start coming out. We've got a Blitz Order in this deck, and probably one of the best Blitz Orders in the game. Ghost Chase. This, yeah, a lot of the Stoichea order cards are actually really good. Choose one of your units, and it is plus 5k until the end of that battle, and you choose one of your rear guards not being attacked, and you return it to your hand. There's a few cards in here, although one mainly, with on-place effects, and this card is there to help them get off their abilities multiple times. We've got more copies of Inroad Shooter. We already went over him. Prized Trident. This is another card. When your other unit attacks, if it is the 5th battle of this turn, you put this guy into your soul and countercharge 1. He's gives you more counter blasts and more soul, so he's very good. And then why we're running Ghost Chase, Conspiring Mutant Adamantus. This is probably another one of Stoichea's really good cards, and it has been in a lot of decks, a few of them since set 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard, choose one of your other rearguards and gets plus 5k for the end until the end of the turn. This really helps, as well, a lot of the attacks in this deck, except for maybe Inlet Pulse, are going to be kind of pea shooter attacks compared to a lot of other decks attacks in this, because even if your attacks don't do anything, you kind of want them to, but even when they don't do anything, they still add up to Flagburg's ability, which is good. Well, of course, to wrap up any Vanguard deck, we've got the 4 perfect guards, the 4 non-effect crits. Judging by it's the same pattern as Greedon, I'm pretty sure you can probably guess what they're going to be. The effect crits, the non-effect heals, of course, the 3 draws. The reason why we're running the draws in this deck is because your Vanguard is going to be the one attacking last. So, and fronts are really only good if your Vanguard is going first, or if they have restanding abilities, which they do. However, you want to restand all of your rear guards first before your Vanguard attacks. Again, so you can get off all of Flagburg's abilities in one go. And the Stoichea Overtrigger. I don't think we've shown this before. Oh, and I forgot, in Greedon, there's, of course, the Dark States Overtrigger. However, we haven't gone over this one before. Source Dragon Deity of Blessings, Bless Saver. So its additional effect is draw a card, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 1 critical until the end of turn. All your units in the front row get plus 10,000, and if your damage zone has more cards than your opponent's, you heal 1. So it's kind of all of the triggers in one, which is pretty cool. well, that's it for all my Overdress decks for now. I'm kind of hoping in the future to do battle videos with these. Though, don't really have a good setup for that, so I'd probably have to get to work on that. And I hope you enjoyed this video. It was pretty long, actually.